This is Mario Party,
It's Luigi time.
and this is the Oculus Rift.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
どうなんでしょうか。
Now you might be asking, what do they have in common? Nothing. Until now. Introducing You might be wondering how we got here, and for that, we're gonna have to rewind a few months. There I was, playing Mario Party by myself, and a friend of mine said, "Why are you playing Mario Party by yourself when you should be working on your VR project? Why don't I create some minigames in VR?" So I want to create minigames from the Mario Party series in VR games. The only issue being, selecting the minigames you use is going to be time consuming. So there's roughly 700 minigames, and assuming I watch all of them to find out, that's a lot to go through, so we're going to break it down into my most memorable minigames. What did I enjoy? Facelift and Shy Guy Says. So for any of you that haven't played them, one is about shapeshifting a face to another face, and the other is about raising the correct flag in good time. Let's get to building it.
Jordan, Game Dev. Build. Jordan, Game Dev.
So to begin, like any fresh project, we're going to open Unity, pick a version that's not messed up, and start importing packages that will be useful. My bread and butter is Dootween, and an asset we're going to use called the VR Interactive Toolkit. It's an asset made by Bearded Ninja Games. You can get it on the Unity Asset Store. Before any minigames can happen, I really need to establish a main world, an area that can play each of the minigames. So we're going to start by creating a boring ass terrain. Throw some trees in there, and there we go. Finished. This will do. Now that I have a place to stand, how does one enter a minigame? I'll take the approach of Super Mario 64 and design paintings that can have stuff thrown in it, just like you yeeted yourself into those paintings many years ago. Now, like any good not Mario game, we need mushrooms. Each one is throwable, and this will be our method of transportation in this world. Then I attempted, and I genuinely mean attempted, to make the picture frames work. I don't understand. I tried, I tested everything, and eventually gave up. That's future me's problem. Maybe. And with this, it was time to actually develop a minigame. To begin with, I choose Shy Guy Says. So to begin, we need to start looking at the minigame. We need to observe the fact that from the perspective of the camera, we're going to see a boat, 4 players, except for there'll be one because it's VR. Couldn't figure out the rope, not going to bother trying. To begin, let's start by borrowing some assets from existing Mario games and repurposing them for my needs and wants. I created a pirate ship, followed by stealing the hat like a captain should from Mario and placing it on Shy Guy's head, thus making him Captain Shy Guy. Next is setting up animations ahead of time. For this, we're going to use Mixamo. Throw them in, bake them in the oven, and oh god, what have I done? In the end, I took them out of Mixamo and I just had to hand animate him. This took way longer than it should have. Setting up the animation tree was also a massive pain. Now that's sorted, the environment. You can see here that the old environment is just a boat with some barrels. But with my new pirate ship, I can create the same view but the other way round. Now that I can see the environment, the flags must be made. These look boring. Now they jiggle.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
And with the flags, I set up a system so that if they're pointing downwards, then they are not tracked. If they're pointing upwards, then they tell Captain Shy Guy that I have my hand up. Should you put the wrong one up, Captain Shy Guy will come and cut your rope, your invisible rope, and you'll be left to go sail the seas alone in a barrel. And with this, all I had to do was take a screenshot of it, add some in music, add some sound effects, and this is what it turned out like. Now, that was all well and great, but Jordan, there was another minigame, you ask. Yes, there was. Facelift. As you can see, inside of the minigame, you have 4 parts of the screen, each with their own face, and the one in the middle is the one that we're trying to replicate the closest possible. Now, I'm not gonna lie when I say this. This was the most painful minigame I've had to design. But man, was that irritating. So I start off by borrowing an older Mario head from one of the older Mario games. And from here, I realized one thing. These models were not designed to be messed with. These are not designed for this at all.
Hello, it's me.
So I spent a good portion of 2 days just trying to figure out how to reskin the face, redo the head, patch up all of the vertices that were all broken, and I took my first test and chucked into Unity. So once I got it into Unity, the next part was, okay, so how do I deform the faces? And for this, those bones that I just mentioned, that's what we're using. I turn them into grabbable objects using the VR interaction toolkit, and I'm simply just matching it to the same position as my hand. So I took it into a new scene and I started adding little gizmos, these things that you can visibly see and pull and grab. This is necessary because I need to know where I can grab onto. Next, once I've done that, was determining how far can I pull a joint, how far can I pull it before it stops letting me, where's the tracking points of it in terms of the distance. I need to determine a score system, so how far you pull it determines how far from its original face. And once I got that done, I created a manager to make 2 of the faces, and having 2 faces allowed me to view the first one and horribly suck at pulling the next one, but as you can see, it didn't quite work out as planned. Next was adding some nice animations, making the head fall, making it drop. In the end, it turned out quite fine. It bounced and everything, so the environment was what I wanted to focus on last. So for this, we're going boring ass terrain again, and we're just going to horribly do a paint job on it. Add some trees, add some rocks, and there you have it. So we add some sound effects, we add some UI elements into the scene, and this is the final product. Now, as you can see, it's not as finished as the first one, and I'll be honest, I gave up. One of the hardest parts about all of this was keeping myself on schedule to get this done. I had this planned ages ago. It worked. Did I get it finished? Not quite. And that's part of the enjoyment of doing this. I very much enjoy getting these projects working, and seeing the project actually come to fruition was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed the process of making these. I would not recommend it for anybody. It is a lot of work, but that's what game development is. Thanks for sticking around. If you have any interesting game ideas that you'd like to see me tackle, I'd love to hear what you guys have to suggest. I have made 5 videos, each of them very different in style. I'm kind of just getting a feel for what I want to do, and honestly, I love doing this. I love recording this, I love sorting this out, adding new content to every video. So if you like, comment and subscribe, that would make me incredibly happy. Bye-bye.